Guys, so today we're going to be making butternut squash spaghetti pasta. We're going to be using the butternut squash as the actual creamy sauce for the pasta, and it could be vegan, vegetarian, or just with protein, however you like. You could always substitute for vegan options. Mine is going to have some organic chicken sausage, which I really like the combination. It's going to be some sage in there. You could do gluten-free pasta, organic pasta, whatever you like. So let's get started in chopping the butternut squash. Now you could get it fresh like this, which could, it's a little bit cheaper than buying a frozen or already cut up for you if you're a little afraid to cut into it. So we only need 2 pounds. This was almost 5 pounds. So I'm going to basically just use the top part, and that'll be my 2 pounds, which is, in this recipe, you need 2 cups. Okay, so here we have the squash. I already cleaned the top of it. Just take your knife, hold it down pretty tight. All right, we're gonna put this off to the side. This is what you need. Now, in order for it to be sturdy, you wanna flatten the other side, just like that. Now, it is a little tough, so you could use your knife to peel it, or you could just use a potato peeler. It'll take you a little bit longer, but just peel away. And you want to peel away 2 layers because it is pretty tough, so just go ahead and peel it. Okay, so it's all nicely peeled. Now we're going to start cutting down these pieces, about inch and a quarter size pieces, straight down. Make sure to hold it down steady because it is kind of tough still. Pieces just like this. Okay, once we have them all around the same size, we're going to cube the butternut squash. Nice little cubes. When you cut veggies all the same size, they cook more evenly, so that's what I'm going to be doing with all the rest of the veggies as well. So for this recipe, I'm going to be adding in some sage and butternut squash, perfect together. Garlic cloves, onion. I have these beautiful leeks, whatever kind of onions you have. And then chicken sausage. This is organic chicken sausage. You could keep it vegetarian, of course. You could add in more veggies, other kinds of veggies. Like I'm also going to be adding in some peas. Other veggies, maybe frozen spinach or even broccoli. Okay, so everything is nicely cubed. I have my chicken sausage here, which I'm going to start off cooking first. I want to brown it a little bit. Once it's browned, I will set it to the side and then throw in the rest of my veggies. I added a little more white onion to my leeks because I felt like I needed a little bit more. And then here's a secret ingredient. You can see my butternut squash, right? And then I have an apple. It's not a whole apple, it's about 3/4 of an apple, but guess what? Talk about fall flavors. Apple, butternut squash, sage, those go together so well. Trust me when I say you need to add the apple. It's not going to turn everything sweet at all. Once everything cooks down together, it's just going to taste just like fall flavors, really good. So you also want to chop up some sage. That's about 2 tablespoons. I will be chopping up a little bit more to finish off the dish once I plate everything. So I'm ready to go. I have my pan on medium to high heat. I'm going to add in a little bit of avocado oil and then start with my sausage. Okay, so our pan is nice and hot. I'm going to add in avocado oil, 2 to 3 tablespoons. I like using avocado oil whenever I'm cooking medium to high temperatures, but it's okay if all you have is extra virgin olive oil. As long as you're not frying with it, that's fine. Okay, so chicken sausage goes in. I'm going to spread these out evenly so they get to brown on each side. They're not crowded, so that's good. It should take about 2 minutes or so on each side. You want them to get nice and golden brown. Just like this, I just started flipping these over and you can see some of them have that nice golden brown color. I don't want it to burn either, so 2 minutes. I'm going to set these off to the side. They're leaving behind some really delicious little brown bits that the onions are going to be sauteed in, pick up that flavor. Remember, if you're doing vegetarian, then you're going to skip this step. Onions. I've sauteed them for about a minute or so. Then I'm adding in the butternut squash and also the apple. We're gonna saute this for a little bit. I wanna get some of those brown bits. Oh, there goes a piece of apple. Just be careful, nothing else flies out of your pan. Just go ahead, give it a stir. This is when we're gonna be adding all the spices, starting with the salt. So we're gonna salt it really well. And remember that we're gonna taste as we go in case we're missing some more salt. Then it's red pepper flakes. I like adding just a little hint of the chili flakes. It's not gonna make it really spicy, but it's up to you. If you want to make it more spicy, then go ahead and add a little bit more. Then we're gonna add in some black pepper. Just fresh cracked black pepper all over the veggies. Get as much or as little as you want. Give this a quick stir, incorporate everything, all the spices with the veggies. Then we're gonna add in the liquids, starting with white wine. Whenever I am sauteing veggies that I'm gonna make a soup with or a stew, or just, just a side dish of veggies that I'm sauteing, I love white wine. It brings out a really good flavor. Obviously the wine itself, the alcohol itself boils out, but you're left with just a little hint of sweetness. Then it's the chicken stock. I love this better than bouillon. It's all organic, no MSG. If you don't have the carton with the chicken stock, then this is the way to go. So it's about a teaspoon to a cup, and that's exactly what I added in there. If you're doing vegetarian, then you're gonna do the veggie stock. So there goes the sage. I actually forgot to add it in when I was sauteing everything, but it's okay because it's all gonna boil together and it's gonna cook down once we cover this. So 2 garlic cloves. I like adding in the garlic always at the end because I like to keep that fresh garlic flavor that I can actually taste and not have it cook down and lose all the flavor. So it's ready to be covered. We're gonna cover this on medium to high heat so it boils nicely. And when it's fork tender, we're gonna check it in a couple minutes. Then we could throw it in the blender and make our delicious sauce. Okay guys, so it's been 12 to 13 minutes. As you can see, it is fork tender. This piece of butternut squash. This apple is also really tender. I'm not sure if you can see, but as I stab it, it's just really tender, almost falling apart. So I'm gonna turn this off. And then we're gonna set it to the side just to cool off slightly because you don't wanna throw anything too hot into the blender.
So I have my blender here. Now you want your butternut squash and your veggies to cool off slightly. You don't want them to be too hot when you put them in your blender. So carefully scoop in your butternut squash, the leeks, the apples, all that deliciousness. Don't forget the juice either into your blender. So scoop it up. We're gonna blend it until very smooth.
Make sure everything goes in there, including the delicious juice with all the flavors. We're gonna cover this. Grab a kitchen towel that you can put right on top of the lid because it might splash on you when you turn it on because of the steam. We're gonna blend this until silky smooth.
Okay.
Okay, so it looks really creamy. I'm gonna taste it for salt content and it is perfect. This is when you try it, just be very careful because it's still pretty hot. And this is, if it needed some salt, you'd throw in a little bit of salt and then blend it. But this is how creamy it should look. Nice and silky smooth. It's really good. So we're gonna put it back in the pan and add the rest of the ingredients and the pasta. Okay, so the sauce is back in the pan and I'm adding in the rest of my ingredients. This is a 1/3 cup of pecorino romano, which is cheese made out of goat's milk. It's one of my favorites. You could add the cheese or you could leave it out. It's optional. You can do vegan cheese if you're sticking with vegan, vegetarian option. 2 tablespoons of organic unsalted butter. This is just gonna make it even more creamy, if that's even possible. Well, it's gonna add another layer of flavor as well. My peas that I thawed out, in the sauce they go. And like I mentioned earlier, you could add other veggies in here as well. Maybe grilled asparagus, some sauteed spinach, or some steamed broccoli. Any of those veggies will go really good, or whatever you want. Last but not least, my chicken sausage that I set aside earlier. Mix this in. Remember, we don't have to boil it. We just want the butter to melt, and it's ready for the pasta. Okay, so here go the noodles. I chose an organic fettuccine noodles. And like I said before, you can do any kind of pasta you like. Whole wheat, gluten-free, regular. You could do the spaghetti, you could do penne, you could do fusilli, whatever you want. It's just going to be really good and really creamy. So slowly incorporate all that delicious sauce into the noodles, stirring very slowly. Make sure that your pan, the heat is turned off. You don't need to overcook this. So the pasta should be al dente because it will continue to cook anyway. When you take it out of the water, it should be al dente. So this looks really good. Everyone is gonna love this dish. Your whole family, invite them over. This is fall flavors in one pan. It is really good. You need to try this recipe. Butternut squash. There's no heavy creams, there's no milk and, tons of butter in this. You're getting fiber and vitamins.
Check that out, guys.
And here it is, you guys, nicely plated. I want to finish this off, make it look nice and mouth-watering. I like to finish it off with a little bit of freshly grated pecorino romano from earlier. You can make it your choice of cheese or maybe no cheese at all, whatever you want. Last touch, I'm going to finish it off with a little bit of chopped sage for that nice earthy flavor and pop of color. And just like that, there it is. Try this recipe out, you guys. This is perfect for a nice family gathering. Impress your friends with this recipe. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to share, give this a thumbs up. Enjoy. Thank you so much.